Hello and welcome back to the recap on Women's Football Talk. So we have had the first legs of this season's Champions League semi-finals and some fantastic games were played on Saturday and on Sunday, and we also have the normal reaction to the weekend's games across the leagues. So let's start off with the Champions League and the game that took place on yesterday, so Sunday, between Wolfsburg and Arsenal. Was an absolutely fantastic game, definitely a tale of two parts to the game. Obviously Wolfsburg started off quite strong, scoring after just 20 minutes through Eva Pajor, a lovely bit of work from Wolfsburg as they managed to find her through STINA Jonsdottir, and then Pajor managed to get her, I think, 8th or 9th goal of the season in the Champions League and continuing to show why she's one of the best forwards in world football at this minute. And then a few minutes later, a mistake from an Arsenal goal kick led to STINA Jonsdottir being able to easily tap the ball past Manuela Zinsberger, and from then on you thought it was going to be quite comfortable for Wolfsburg, being 2-0 up at home, and the fact that it was such an obviously a depleted Arsenal squad with injuries to that side. However, they managed to go into the game as the first half managed to wear on. You saw a bit of confidence coming in, and then they managed to get that crucial goal just before the half time from a corner. Steph Catley puts in the ball, and then there was Raffaele on the back post, heads it past Merla Fromes to get Arsenal a bit of life into it and a bit of hope. And then coming into the second half, he on the side of our side definitely seemed to have that encouragement. That first goal definitely gave him a bit of hope to get back into the game. And then with 20 minutes to go, fantastic ball initially by Lotta Vubomoy, found Victoria Pelova. She squared it into the box for STINA BLACKSTENIUS to make it 2-2 and make it a fantastic final 20 minutes between the two sides, where I think either side really could have got a winner, but at the end of the day, they'll especially Arsenal, they'll settle for the draw, considering they were 2-0 down. And I believe that was the first time since 2015 that Wolfsburg have given up a 2-goal lead when they were obviously ahead. It's going to be interesting to see how the second leg plays out at the Emirates Stadium. It is in a week's time exactly, so it's going to be how can Arsenal respond. Do they have that home fan advantage at the Emirates Stadium to give them enough to get a goal or two to progress through to the final in Eindhoven at the end of May / early June? So that is going to be a very interesting take. Obviously for Wolfsburg, they were missing Lena Lettevine and Alexander Pop from them, but overall it was a strong performance from Wolfsburg, and I think they can have their heads held a little bit high, but obviously they'll be disappointed that they managed to concede 2 goals from that position. But don't write off Thomas Struth's side. They can definitely get back in and keep it alive, and it's not going to be an easy one for Arsenal. Onto the game that took place between Chelsea and Barcelona, and it was a fantastic performance from Barcelona. Managed to win 1-0. Carolina Graham-Hansen with a goal early on for Jonathan Herrera's side, and then they just looked to dominate. Chelsea grew into the game, but for me personally, I don't think there was anything that they really troubled Tanja Panos with too much. There was a few saves that she was forced to make, but I think the Barcelona's backline of Lucy Bronze, Irene Paredes, Mapi Leon and Frida Rolfo did really well. And then as the game wore on, you saw Aitana Bonmati grow into the game, and then when they brought on Mariana Caldente in the 60th minute, it definitely helped them a little bit more solidify that midfield position, because Kira Walsh was getting marked out of the game quite a lot, and it was a struggle for her to get really going. But I think it was overall a good performance from Barcelona. And Chelsea, they had a few chances, like I said, but it seemed to me personally like the last 20 minutes or so that neither team really had anything left in their tank, so it was quite hard for Chelsea to get anything into it. Obviously the last few minutes was absolutely great for Chelsea fans, as Pernilla Harder was able to come off the bench for the first time and make an appearance for Chelsea for the first time this year, obviously after missing so long through injury. But heading into Thursday's second leg, obviously not being out of the tie was key for Emma Hayes' side. Only 1-0 down, going to the Camp Nou, it's going to be a hard task for them, but definitely they're not out of it. So it's going to be interesting to see, can they get anything in this return leg later on this week. So that will take place on Thursday, and then like I said, Arsenal versus Wolfsburg's second leg takes place next Monday. So let's go through the results of the rest of the leagues now, and it was goals galore in the WSL. Manchester City beating West Ham United by 6-2. Tottenham and Aston Villa played out a 3-3 draw. Liverpool managed to beat Brighton by 2-1, and Everton managed to beat Reading by 3-2. So it's still very close at the bottom of the WSL table, whilst at the top Manchester City have overtaken Chelsea with that result. Obviously Chelsea have games in hand over the top two due to progressing so far in the Champions League and obviously FA Cup as well. Over in the Netherlands this past weekend, it was a win for Heerenveen as they beat Telstar by 4-1 on Friday. PSV beat Den Haag by 2-1. Ajax beat Fortuna Sittard by the same scoreline on Saturday. Excelsior beat Feyenoord 1-0, and FC Twente beat Pekkerswol by 2-0 as they edge ever closer to lifting another Eredivisie title. Over in Spain yesterday, and it was a 2-1 victory for Real Madrid against Villarreal, coming from a goal down Real Madrid, and that victory now means they will be playing Champions League football next season. Elsewhere, Madrid CFF beat Sporting Huelva by the same scoreline. Atletico Madrid beat Levante by 2-1, and elsewhere there was wins for Alaves, Real Betis, Real Sociedad and Athletic Bilbao. And over into Italy this weekend, and we saw the big Milan derby between Inter Milan and AC Milan, and it was AC Milan that won that game by 3-1. Elsewhere, Roma managed to beat Juventus by 3-2. Sampdoria beat Pomigliano by 4-1, and a big battle towards the bottom of the table saw Como beat Sassuolo by 2-1. And finally, over in the Frauen Bundesliga this past weekend, Bayern Munich put on an absolute stellar performance against SC Freiburg by beating them 8-2. Hoffenheim beat Bayer Leverkusen by 1-0. SGSN beat Turbine Potsdam by the same scoreline. Eintracht Frankfurt beat Cologne by 2-0, and it was a record-setting attendance between the two sides and a record attendance for a Frauen Bundesliga game, which was absolutely fantastic to see. How many fans were at this game between Cologne and Eintracht Frankfurt. And then finally, Werder Bremen versus Meppen finished 0-0. So they are the results from this past weekend. Obviously, looking ahead to this week, we have, like I said, the second legs of the Champions League, and then obviously more fixtures to come. And a final mention into the Barclays Women's Championship. Congratulations are in order to Bristol City for winning the championship with a game to spare. They managed to beat Charlton by 4-0 and have earned promotion to the WSL. Obviously they were there a couple of seasons ago, but after a second attempt they've managed to get promoted back to the Barclays Women's Premier League and will be playing there next season, so congratulations to them. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a video of ours, and that you're following us on Twitter and on Instagram for all the latest news and stories when we post them. In the meantime, we'll see you soon.